Proxy, are you curious about what secrets lie hidden on the beach under the moonlight? Sometimes my inspiration withers away with draft after draft, so I often use the salty sea breeze to get the creativity flowing again. And that's what I did on that cold, rainy night. I was walking alone on the beach near the resort as the tide was rolling out. When I bent down to pick up a starfish, I noticed a bottle half buried in the sand. Almost like deliberate foreshadowing in a story, placed there to catch my attention. I picked up the weathered bottle, and as I pulled out the damp cork, a piece of yellowed parchment slipped out onto my hand. There were 3 strange symbols on it, connected by a sinuous line. The starting point seemed to be right where I was standing on the beach. The line stretching toward a cape that jutted into the sea, marked by a gnarled tree. From there, the line led across the sea to the outline of a crescent-shaped island. On the island were rough sketches of a treasure chest and an anchor, along with a riddle scrawled to the side. A course the gnarled tree will show. To cliff's end you shall row. In the eye of the storm, the treasure is secretly stowed. Along with the treasure map, a smooth stone rolled out of the bottle. This translucent stone was glazed with a circular pattern resembling an eye, and a spherical core alight with an enchanting deep red glow, gazing at me like a pupil. But what really surprised me was the black imprint of a ship's helm on the bottle's cork. It seemed to match a certain missing boat that was being discussed on the Spook Shack forum. The thoughts of mysterious treasure and an unsolved mystery instantly ignited my dangerous curiosity. Without a second thought, I clenched the map in my hand and hurried towards the nearest mark on the map. I walked for some time until I finally found the gnarled tree. It was twisted nearly 90 degrees. An old, battered boat happened to be sitting at the foot of the tree. To get to the second riddle in the bottle, I immediately pushed the boat out to sea and set course in the direction the gnarled tree pointed. But it wasn't long before the calm waters began to swell. My compass spun in circles. Though the chaotic magnetic field made me uneasy, the huge cliff looming ahead somehow excited me. It seemed like the riddle was starting to hold water. So I continued to follow the second line of the riddle, staying close to the cliff. Finally, at the end of the cliff, I drifted into a thick fog bank. There was a faint dot of light in the depths of the fog. It flickered on the horizon, quick as a blinking eye. I was filled with joy at the thought of finding a legendary treasure. So despite the relentless waves, I sailed towards the eye of the storm without hesitation. Then I saw them! Shipwrecks strewn across scattered reefs. I soon realized that these waters were not to be underestimated. As my mind was reeling from the sights around me, a massive silhouette of an island emerged in the distance. Immediately, a bolt of scarlet lightning pierced through the fog and rain, searing the sky in crimson flashes, burning the waters red as if marking its hunting ground. When that strange red light focused on me, it was as if the eye of the storm discovered its target, and it came charging towards me with terrifying speed. The giant rolling waves made me lose control of the boat, yet the vermilion glow beneath the flashes of lightning didn't stop moving toward me. It drew closer and closer, brighter and brighter, and it grew larger, so immense it crushed me with despair. Then suddenly, a loud horn blared through the night. A ship came surging into my sight. The image of the black helm on its sails flickering in the lightning. The cries of distress on the deck drew my attention to a massive wave swelling closer and closer. just as the storm was about to capsize my boat, a green light abruptly appeared from behind the peak of the wave. The light emerged from the surging waves with incredible speed, and then a head as vast as a mountain surfaced between the sailboat and the giant bone-crushing waves. An enormous, mysterious sea monster was glaring at us with glowing eyes. And wherever its gaze reached, the green light coalesced into a luminescent barrier that warded off the violent waves. In the deepest part of its right eye, I could see a strange scarlet halo that was flickering. The sailors on board the ship erupted with greedy cries. This wasn't some ordinary creature. It was a legendary treasure from the depths of the sea, said to contain mysterious ether energy. Countless sailors had chased after it. It was a key that lets you move unimpeded in any perilous storm. After a few loud bangs from the deck, several sharp iron harpoons whistled past my head. The sailors that had just been saved repaid the sea monster with betrayal. The harpoons plunged straight into its right eye. At that moment, its excruciating roar shattered the portholes of the ship, and the green light that once symbolized hope turned into an ominous crimson. The beast thrashed instinctively, its massive head wrenching free. The glowing eye that had been torn off by the harpoons fell like a meteor. In an instant, tenebrous ether particles burst from its hollow right eye. And then, the angry sea monster finally stretched out its gargantuan tail and tore the black helm sails off the ship's masts. Amidst the chaos, I saw a surviving sailor who, by a stroke of luck, had salvaged the fallen eyeball in the shattered wreckage of the deck. He mercilessly smashed the once glowing eye, and a pupil the size of a pebble fell out. The sailor carefully hid this glowing, violaceous ruby inside a bottle. And as the ship was about to be swallowed by the blood-stained waves, he scrambled into the last remaining lifeboat and disappeared into the scarlet fog. Yet the cries echoing on the sea never ceased. The powerful ether energy brought even more terrifying images, ripping apart time and space before my eyes. I saw the sea monster lurking in the mist, ramming into the reefs in the shipwreck graveyard. Many sailors who came here in search of treasure had nowhere to flee the sea monster's pursuit. They were no different from me, hoping to find hidden treasure in the storm, and instead falling into the sea monster's trap of vengeance. The cries of despair echoed in the night, and the torrents of bone-piercing rain pulled me back to reality. The eye of the storm had me in its sights. The sinister red glow was like sharp fangs, continuously gnawing at the remnants of my sanity. I tried to stay conscious, and finally, from the chaotic memory fragments, I strove to piece together what the sea beast was relentlessly searching for. It was the very thing I was holding in my hand. The moment that abyssal monster's gaping mouth came to devour me, I took the burning ruby pupil from the bottle and used what strength I had left to hurl it at the monster's right eye. The moment the pupil was restored in the eye socket, the storm was calmed. The thick fog that enveloped the waters rolled away like the tide, and I vaguely saw those ethereal wraiths bowing to sincerely thank me. They were finally freed from the sea monster's endless torment. As the fog dispersed, the world returned to its eternal tranquility. After some time, as the first ray of dawn rose above the horizon, I opened my weary eyes on the beach of that familiar seaside resort. The sun shone on my skin, and a false sense of warmth spread over my body. Everything was so calm. It felt as if last night was nothing more than a vivid nightmare. All except for the bottle clutched in my hand, its glass shimmering with a crimson glow. Before the inspiration could slip away, I quickly jotted down this unusual sea adventure and shaped it into a strange tale lingering on the edge of truth. Shh. Did you hear it? That low, rumbling call in the night, as if to remind me that some secrets are far more terrifying than we imagine. And yet, these voices from the abyss keep pulling me back. They're haunting, enticing, impossible to resist. Next time, would you be willing to join me on a bold adventure? What do you say, Proxy?